We're just to the west of the Lukeville port of entry, and Border Patrol agents here tell me they've seen about 300 people cross just this morning alone. Take a look at the scene. Now, they've set up these makeshift tents to provide relief from the heat, medical attention, and water until more reinforcements come to pick them up.
Yeah, that is a great question. And actually, let's give you another look at the lines here, because I spoke to the PIO for Customs and Border Protection, and really the temporary closure of the port of entry.
The wall certainly looks impressive, but in parts of Arizona's border with Mexico, this new wall is proving to be little more than a temporary obstacle for smugglers.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection officials have suspended operations at a remote border crossing in Arizona. CBP leaders say the closure at the Lukeville crossing will allow border agents to deal with increased levels of migrant encounters. They say it's fueled by smugglers peddling disinformation.
Tens of thousands of migrants have entered through the crossing over the past several weeks. Border Patrol agents in the Tucson sector, they are simply overwhelmed.
Tuesday afternoon, it was group after group of migrants illegally crossing into Arizona. Many of them tell us they came from Africa, India, and like this migrant, Paul, Ecuador.
Personnel be able to help with the processing, because John Manuel, he says basically since spring, they have seen the increase of migrants coming here and that they're going to need more help.
When then President Trump sold the idea of a bigger border wall on the campaign trail, it was supposed to be a formidable barrier to illegal immigration and smuggling.
The closure comes after 17,000 migrants were apprehended in the Tucson region in just 1 week. In November of last year, during the entire month, there were 23,000 encounters.
Paul says he's traveling alone, fleeing violence in his home country. He says he's trying to get to his wife in New York, who crossed the border a month earlier. It took him more than 6 months to walk, where he was met by gangs who robbed him.
It just seems like throughout the entire duration of the border crisis, Justin, it's been largely centered and focused in Texas and has not been as busy or crowded in Arizona. That seems to have changed now.
2 weeks ago, Kirk encountered a crew repairing the wall. Listen to what the supervisor told him about how many holes they had fixed in the prior 2 weeks.
CBP also announcing new enforcement operations going after transportation networks that they say are preying on migrants, smuggling them through northern Mexico to the southern border.
The White House again reiterating the fact that the border is not open, but many who live along our southern border here in Arizona fear that the situation is only going to get worse.